Hey y'all, Kelly Whitney here with another thing older black women should tell younger black women but don't. Girls, work on your self-esteem. And when I say work on your self-esteem, I mean it should be a dedicated focus now and for the rest of your life. As a black woman, you're gonna take shots from so many different directions, and they may not be direct shots, you know what I mean? Like those obvious dings trying to take you down or humble you. A lot of the times, the shots that you're gonna feel are very subtle. They're microaggressions. They're things that you may not even recognize immediately as detrimental to your self-esteem. I did a video maybe a week ago about how perfection does not exist. I had that orange dress on with the black hat. I wanna read this to you. This was a comment. She said, "Can you talk about mothers with shitty husbands encouraging their young daughters to settle for potential in a young man?" And I replied, "That is criminal." And she responded, "I'm 21 and I love your videos, but yes, promoting settling because he could have been worse or he's better than the guys your friends have." Obviously, there could be all sorts of nuance to this, details that I am not privy to in this very limited discussion. Just the idea that a mother would encourage her young 21-year-old daughter to settle, that's disturbing. If I was a mother, and I'm not even sure I would be encouraging my 21-year-old daughter to think about men at this juncture. Of course, you can date, you go out and enjoy yourself and have a good time, but settling at 21, at the peak of your skin's elasticity and your body's tone? Don't be ridiculous. Absolutely not. Are you insane? If you set the precedent that early in your child's mind that she should already be settling, where is there to go from there? Do you know how fucking fabulous I was at 21? Do you know at 21, your auntie had never had a pimple. Not one blemish had ever shown up on my face. My hair, oh my God. The idea, it just disturbs me on a cellular level. And you better not settle, especially at 21 or anything even remotely approaching such. Don't be ridiculous. And for the girl to say that she has a shitty husband means she's thinking, she's observing, she's figuring out that you can't listen to everybody. You see what I'm saying? Because everybody is not in a position to give you valuable or useful advice. There's so much wrong with this little exchange. It would take me more than one video to unpack it. But I will say this to you and mean it with all sincerity. Work on your self-esteem, because only somebody with low self-esteem would encourage their young, impressionable child to settle for anything. And I want to read you what self-esteem means, okay? Self-esteem, it's a noun. Confidence in one's own worth or abilities. Self-respect. Now I looked up self-respect. That is also a noun. Pride and confidence in oneself. A feeling that one is behaving with honor and dignity. There is no dignity in settling for a shitty husband. There's no honor in that either. That speaks to that struggle love bullshit that you know I am all the way against. Work on your self-esteem. You have got to know your worth. You have got to be confident in who you are. Enough so that you, as a rule, make thinking for yourself and making your own judgments and decisions your default. Because again, everybody is not equipped to give you advice. Therefore, you should not ask or accept advice from everyone. All men who have potential are not poor candidates for you to engage with. That's not what I'm saying. Michelle Obama talks about how Barack had great potential. She didn't know he was going to end up president when she got involved with him and subsequently married him, but there was action there. He was showing who he was by deeds as well as by what he said. That made sense. It's not always a case of potential is a bad thing always, no. But at age 21, you should be working on yourself. You should be thinking about men as fun individuals to spend time with, not necessarily someone to settle down with or to settle for. There's so much life to be lived, so many experiences to be had. The idea of settling should be completely foreign, because I don't even advise older broads in my era to settle. There's no upside. You're gonna have problems and you can do bad by yourself. It's not that I want you guys to be alone. Don't ever think that. But this idea of settling, especially at it at that young age, I just cannot get behind it. When it comes to self-esteem, that will give you the snap that you need to be able to discern good advice from bad, to discern good ideas from poor ideas. For you to have real self-esteem, even when your mama tells you something, you think about it. That doesn't align with what I want, this, that, da, da, da. That's the kind of self-esteem I need you guys to cultivate. What do you want? Where do you want to go? What kind of man are you looking to settle down with at the appropriate time? How do you want him to treat you? How do you treat yourself? So that there is no question what kind of treatment that you expect in a partner. At 21, you don't even have all that stuff figured out. Most of us. Work on your self-esteem so that you can think for yourself and know when you may be getting some bad advice from somebody. If you're around people who are not good for your self-esteem, figure out a way to get away from them, because y'all got to think for yourselves. And I think older Black women aren't talking to younger women about self-esteem because they have not worked on their own self-esteem and they don't have high self-esteem. Self-esteem is one of those concepts that, sadly, it's a luxury for many Black women because we're so deep in survival mode. We're so busy helping other people. We don't often spend that time on ourselves, but you should think about that. Work on it on a daily basis. Cultivating a high level of self-esteem can have so many positive impacts. Strong mental health, it can facilitate you building and nurturing positive relationships. It can give you motivation to take on new challenges, for instance. In many cases, people who have high self-esteem are better able to make decisions. They're less risk averse and more willing to take chances. People who have high self-esteem are usually more willing to care for themselves and to treat themselves kindly, which means that you avoid bad decisions, you make good choices, etc. Self-esteem is necessary for you to be a fully actualized woman. If you have low self-esteem, devote time to that personal growth. It will serve you well, there's no downside, and you never want to be at the mercy of somebody else's poor advice because you have low self-esteem. That's all I got for y'all this video. I hope you got a little bit of encouragement from this idea around self-esteem, and I hope you come back for the next one.